We'll go out to the bees and we'll say, take me to your leader, friends. Okay, so for other equipment that we might need, general type equipment, you might need, say, a cloth to wipe your hands on, okay? That might be handy. Pocket knife, always good to have. Duct tape, I don't know exactly for what for, but you might. Everybody should have duct tape in their survival kit. All right, then in case you get stung, first you gotta take the stinger out as quickly as possible because the little barbs will work their way in. But a little bit of rubbing alcohol put on there, apparently that will discourage other bees from coming after you too, so that would be pleasant. This is a little bee salve, bee sting salve. You could also grab a little yarrow or plantain and rub on the sting. I've also heard that lavender oil works, and so we have some lavender oil also. Okay, I think we're going good now. Okay, now, to make the bees happy, we have, when we install the bees, now I've heard various things about the smoker thing, but some people think just spraying them with a little water is better than smoke because smoke will make them think their house is on fire. A little water, they just think there's a little bit of rain. So then they might hunker down. So we do have a spray bottle of water. That might be handy. I also have sugar water, 1-to-1 syrup solution. Spray that on the bees. We're told that then they get busy cleaning it off of each other instead of going after you. And then, the thing about the bee helmet is if you have to get hair out of your face or itch your nose or something, it's kind of hard. I bought this fancy smoker. And yeah, I think nobody's going to mess with me with this thing. It opens up like this. My grandson, just 4 years old, and he collected me a life supply of pine cones, and you just put the pine cones in the smoker and light them on fire. Now you could probably do it with paper, but I got a propane torch because I don't mess around. So we'll torch those little babies in there, we'll get them smoking, and then when you install the bees, or after when you go check on the bees, you can just lightly smoke them so they will go down into the hive instead of coming out in your face is the idea. Okay, now, to keep the bees happy, we also have, when we install them, some syrup solution. Now I made some hard candy, but I have since found out that the syrup solution might be better because in the spring they need liquids and this is more conducive to helping them build brood. And so this is a 1-to-1 syrup solution. I will need to poke holes in the top, turn it upside down on top of the hive, on top of the bars, and the surface tension will keep it from flooding out as long as it's kept level. So I have 2 jars of that handy. I have a little bottle of lemongrass oil, and I've heard that they really like lemongrass oil, and so a little bit put inside their hive will make them feel at home. I will also take the sugar spray solution and spray that on the walls inside the hive so they'll feel like it's a nice place to stay. If they need, let's see, we could put our flame torch in here, I think. Oh yeah. Okay. If they need a little encouragement of staying where they're supposed to stay, I bought this bee brush. Now, everybody I talk to says they hate the bee brush. So why would I want to use something that they would make them upset? I thought this hawk feather, it's a lot more attractive, it's natural, and maybe it's a gentle way of just encouraging them to go where you want them to go. So I got this, I thought I might try that first. Let's see, this here was the lemongrass oil. Oh yeah, we'll put that in here. This here comb is for future use. You can scrape it over the wax to open up the comb and get the honey out. I'm being optimistic there. I don't know if I'll even get any honey the first year. This here, I love tools. This is a multi-purpose hive tool. And you can do all kinds of leverage and scraping and poking things with that, prying things apart. So that's pretty handy. This little jar here has some push pins in it and a wood screw. And I got these for getting the queen out. And the queen has a little cork plug in her cage that you need to pry out and then put a marshmallow in place. But I just found out that they quit using the cork and they have a little candy plug in it instead. But I will need the push pins for holding the queen's cage in the hive while the other bees get used to her. Okay. Then, last but not least, we've got some seeds for flowers and herbs that we'll sprinkle around the hive because we want them to have a nice landscaping around there. And also a beekeeper's manual, because if all else fails, you should probably read the book, so they might have some helpful tips in here. And yeah, okay, I'll need to read that. And so I think that's, oh yeah, here's an extra bucket. This is just in case there's any debris or trash. You don't want to throw it on the ground around the hive because it might attract robbers and wasps and not. So I have a little garbage bucket here. And with that, hey folks, I think we're ready to go. Ain't misbehaving. Thank you very much. Wish me luck.